Hey guys, Chris here, back with another awesome truck that we're not only going to be auctioning off on carsandbids.com, but I'm also going to walk around this 80 series Land Cruiser and explain why this is one of the most iconic Land Cruisers ever, and why a lot of people are saying that this generation, the 80 series, is the real last of the Toyota Land Cruisers ever built. So this is a 1992 Toyota Land Cruiser, and it is absolutely stunning. So this one's already got some off-road modifications, and a lot of times when people buy these, they do several off-roading modifications just because these Land Cruisers are so good off-road. Just like the Jeep Wrangler, they have a solid front axle, so they're super capable off-road, even for rock crawling. And so this particular Land Cruiser, which is a 1992, which is the 80 series, which came out in 91, so it's the second year, has a 2-inch Dobinson lift. And Dobinson's is a company from Australia. They've been making Land Cruiser suspension forever. Pretty much they are one of the first to get into suspension, off-road performance suspension for Land Cruisers. So this one's actually lifted 2 inches. So that one's got the 2-inch Dobinson lift that was actually done by a company called Land Cruiser Heaven, and they're actually our neighbors in Hagerstown. We own 4x4 Rides, and Land Cruiser Heaven did the work on this one, and they are right next door to us, which is really cool because whenever we get Land Cruisers, they have so many parts and they help us, and we just help each other out, which works out really well. So on these earlier generation 80 series, they had the spelled out Toyota logo. Then once they started going 93, 94, they changed it to the regular Toyota logo that you see today. Kind of like that one over there that's also another 100 series, a Land Cruiser, but it's the 100 series. So it's the next generation Toyota Land Cruiser. Everything, the reason why people love these is, one, they're super reliable, and they are just really well built. I mean, this is 1992, and it just still looks today fantastic. Actually has an awesome look to it, and that's why people like them, because they're just such a good looking truck. If not, and in my opinion, one of the best looking trucks on the market. And this is from the 90s. You know, it kind of just looks like a Range Rover, but reliable, right? Super reliable. And one that'll just last forever, that you can just keep passing on to your kids. So one of the cool things about these is the split tailgate. The top part of the tailgate comes up, the bottom part folds down, making a bench. So you can sit on it, you can, when you go camping, you can use it as like a table, you can cook on it. They're just, it's actually very convenient. I wish more SUVs did that. So this Land Cruiser is also a couple other modifications. It has the black off-road wheels, and it also has bigger 285/75/16 mud terrain tires. As you can see, definitely have some more aggressive tread, making it more of an off-roader. And this is a great start for a build. This particular Land Cruiser we're gonna be auctioning off on Cars and Bids with no reserve, so it should be pretty exciting. And it's already had a lot of the things that you want done. It's already been done to it. So the lift kit's already done not too long ago. I gotta check, but I believe it was about 6 months ago that lift kit was installed. The wheels, the mud terrain tires. We did the knuckles in preparation for the sale. So one of the things you want to do in terms of maintenance on these, that's the Dobinson suspension. As you can see, the green coil springs. So they're thicker than a Land Cruiser, and their suspension, coil springs, and they also raise the truck about 2 inches. So another thing is the coil springs. So we did the coil springs right there. I'm sorry, not the coil springs, the knuckles. We did the knuckles in preparation for the sale, the knuckle bearings. That's all done and new. That's one of the things, one of the service items that you want to do on these. A lot of times if you look at it right there, you'll see them all kind of leaking, and then you'll know that they haven't been done. So we already did it. The frame is nice and clean, very little rust. And that's really the main issue with these, because the powertrains are bulletproof, but the main problem is rust. And this one's got a real clean frame. Not much rust, very clean overall, and just ready to go. Same with the rocker panels, nice and clean. So here's another interesting viewpoint, just to see how big the Toyota Land Cruiser actually is, especially this one with the 2-inch lift kit by Dobinson and the mud terrain tires. So right next to the Land Cruiser, we have a Mercedes GLS 450 2017. This is one of their biggest, largest SUVs, and I actually have it in the high position. It has height controlled suspension, so you can raise it. It's in the off-road high position, as high as you can get. And you can see the Land Cruiser still towers over the Mercedes. Let's go ahead and start it up and listen to the engine. So it does come with 2 keys. This one's looks like the original, still with the Toyota logo. All right, 226,000 miles. So this is the 4.0 liter straight 6-cylinder engine.
Beautiful!
For the Toyota Land Cruiser. Very reliable engine, runs a long time. It's not the fastest motor in the world, but it'll get the job done. And this particular Land Cruiser also has a Optima battery, which those are high performance AMG batteries. Those are great batteries, pretty expensive too. This one is actually in really good shape. The carpet, I love the gray interior on the 80 series, and the cloth interior, because the cloth wears and holds up so much better than the leather. And these seats, you can see they've held up really well. I love the 2-tone cloth. It looks absolutely fantastic. In the back, power windows, power locks. And in the back, you have 3rd row seating, so that just folds down just like that. And you can throw the kids right in the back. You got the 3rd row seats. And what's cool about these is they're also jump seats, so they actually fold down and then fold up along the side of those Safari slide out windows. So, and also if you don't need them, you can just take them out completely, which gives you a ton more space. But you can also fold them up against the windows. And these windows are actually Safari sliding windows, which is really neat, because when you got your kids back there, they can just slide this window open, wave to their friends when they're getting picked up from school, and it's just a lot of fun. You do have speakers in the back. It's like a great truck. So another thing I wanted to talk about are the cup holders. So this actually has 2 cup holders, the 80 series. They're actually kind of funky. It's got one little cup holder right here, and then another little cup holder right here. And all you can fit is about well, here you could fit more than a tall Starbucks, but right here, about all you can fit is your tall Starbucks. But tall Starbucks actually fits nice and snug right there. But kind of funky setup with the cup holder. So I actually personally own an 80 series Land Cruiser, and I found you can get an aftermarket cup holder that bolts in right here, and it's got 2 cup holders. I highly recommend getting that. Mine even says 80 series on it. I really like it. The last owner of the truck actually got it. Not sure where he got it, probably on eBay, but there are some other options for better cup holders. One of the things I do like about this 80 series is the radio. The last owner spent a lot of money upgrading the radio and all the speakers. All the speakers in this truck are new. They're all Pioneer speakers, and they sound fantastic. Same with the back row. I wouldn't be surprised if you replaced even the 3rd row speakers as well, but speakers sound absolutely fantastic. And one of the things I like is that on this Apple CarPlay, all you have to do is hook up to your the USB cable right to your phone, and it automatically connects to the Apple CarPlay. And you can use your Google Maps or your YouTube Music, make phone calls, So it's a really great feature to have. So what you have here is center locking differential button, which they don't all have. So what you do when you press that, so this is a full-time four-wheel drive truck. And so you're in high, so you can drive it in high, and then you can, the power is distributed 70-30 on the 4x4. When you press the center locking differential, it's an off-road feature, distributes the power 50-50. So we'll go ahead and turn it off, and let's take it for a spin. So cold today. So that right there is the 100 series. That one we're also going to be auctioning off on Cars and Bids. That is the next generation Land Cruiser, which is the 100 series. That one is a 2004. So you can see they changed the body style. Change the body style, but you know, for some reason these 80 series tend to sell for more than the 100 series. It just depends on the mild condition, but generally speaking, I would say they do. The 100 series is definitely more comfortable. If you're looking for a Land Cruiser, but you want more of a comfortable daily ride, you got a family, you got kids, I would suggest, especially if you're using it as a daily, go with the 100 series, because everything just works better on them, like the power windows, the power locks, the comfort. You have independent front suspension versus this, which is solid front axles. You know, it's more like it's like a Jeep, it's like a tank. You know, it just rides a lot more like a truck, whereas the 100 series Land Cruiser has a much more comfortable feel to it. But these 80 series, they are just much better actually off-road. So if you're wanting into rock crawling, off-roading, if you want to have a trail rig, if you want to build this up, these things are better in that sense. So just things you have to decide when you're trying to pick your next Land Cruiser. But like I said, this one drives really well. It feels good. This has got the 4.0 liter, so it's the first generation of the engine they made. They then switched to a 4.5, so this one's a little bit slower than the 4.5, but actually this one feels good. It feels like it's got enough power. It's not as much power as the 4.5, but it's not bad. I don't feel like, I've had some in the past where I kind of got frustrated because it was a little bit slower, and I was having trouble getting up like a mountain when I was driving to work. This one, not so much. This one feels good. So I really like it. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what questions you have. This is a great looking Land Cruiser, white with a gray interior. It looks like one of those Land Cruisers from the United Nations that you'd see back in like Africa. And it's very cool. So next owner should be very happy. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the auction.